It feels great. You know, I keep facing undefeated fighters, and I'm not going to stop facing them. I feel on top of the world right now, and I'll take on anybody.
Stop scrolling, because Chelsea Chandler just sent the biggest warning of her career, and this one is aimed straight at Dakota Ditche. And trust me, she's not bluffing. Fresh out of Caesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Chandler stared directly into the camera and declared, "I keep facing undefeated fighters, and I'm not going to stop. I feel on top of the world right now, and I'll take on anybody." She didn't say a name. She didn't need to. When she talks about undefeated fighters, everyone knows exactly who she's pointing at. Chelsea Chandler isn't whispering her challenge, she's screaming it from the top of the division. With a 6-2 pro record, 2 TKO finishes, and a reputation for accepting the fights other contenders avoid, Chandler's message was more than confidence. It was defiance. In a sport where most fighters chase the safe path to stardom, Chandler wants the opposite. She wants the toughest, hungriest, most hyped opponent available, and right now, that's Dakota Ditche. Chandler isn't built like a social media star. She's built like a fighter forged in chaos. Before fights, she's had her car vandalized and her home robbed and still walked into the cage ready for war. This isn't a pampered prospect. This is a woman who fights through real life before fighting under the lights. Now she's targeting one of MMA's cleanest, most carefully built prospects, Dakota Ditche. This is grit versus glamour. Pressure versus polish. Chaos versus perfection. Let's rewind for a second. Chelsea Chandler launched her pro career in 2018, battling in Invicta FC and grinding her way through regional wars before her UFC debut in 2022. And what a debut. It took her less than 1 round to TKO Jalija Stoliarenko. That's when fans took notice. She brought pure Stockton energy, forward pressure, heavy hands, and zero respect for anyone's undefeated record. Her second UFC fight? Pure madness. Missed weight. House robbed. Car vandalized. All in the same week before facing Norma Dumont. Most fighters would have pulled out. Chandler showed up anyway. She lost, but she proved something bigger. She's built to fight through hell, and that's why today's message hits different. When Chelsea Chandler says she'll fight any undefeated fighter, she means she's ready to bleed for it.
Clinch is really working for Ditche. She gets the turn, and the knee finds its way to the face of Samiko Nanga, and an elbow from Dakota. And can't take a lot of those knees. There's the damage so far in this fight. It's been one-way traffic.
Oh, Stevie where's the middle from Dakota, and a flurry. Get under the body. Here's the elbow. Back elbow. And now the left hand. She's showing off now.
So why Dakota Dava? Simple. Because Dakota is the name shaking the entire division right now. The undefeated phenom. The 15-0 PFL flyweight champion. The British superstar known for surgical striking and picture-perfect finishes. But to a brawler like Chelsea Chandler, the perfection isn't intimidating. It's a target. Chandler's message is crystal clear. I've fought real fighters. I've fought killers. I don't care about hype. What she's really saying is, Dakota, you've been living inside a highlight reel. I'm going to drag you into reality, and fans know this is the matchup everyone wants. The clean striker versus the dirty grinder. Technique versus pressure. Precision versus pure chaos. Think about it. Dakota fights at range. Clean, crispy, untouched. Chelsea closes distance. Clinch, drag, takedown, smashed. If this fight ever gets made, it won't just be a stylistic test. It'll be a statement. England's undefeated princess versus America's wild outlaw. And it's easy to imagine how it plays out. Round 1. Dakota picking shots, sniping, staying safe. Round 2. Chandler forcing the clash, crashing forward. Round 3. The grind begins. Cage pressure, dirty elbows, relentless top control. This is the kind of fight where chaos can break perfection. Fans are already arguing online. Can Chandler even touch Dakota? Some say it's a mismatch. Others believe Chandler is the first opponent. With the chin, size, and raw violence to expose the hype, and Chandler's response, I don't care about odds. I care about fights. She's not chasing fame. She's chasing war. She's daring Dakota to show she's as real as her undefeated record. Chelsea Chandler just became the latest contender to step into the storm and challenge Dakota Dava's throne. But the difference is, she's not talking for attention. She's not talking for clicks. She's talking because she's ready to walk through hell to win.
By TKO or KO, I will tell you the confidence that she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable.
And there beautiful knee from the plum. And Bishop beckons Jana Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Bishop in trouble. And that does it. First round finish at Dakota Ditche silences.
Jana Bishop just lit a fire under women's MMA, And her target wasn't Dakota Ditche. It was Valentina Shevchenko. Fresh off her loss to Dakota, Jana didn't do what most fighters do. She didn't make excuses. She didn't blame judges. She didn't trash her opponent. Instead, she flipped the entire narrative. Jana praised Dakota, called her a monster, called her a scary striker, said she's the best kicker in the game, and then she dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves across MMA media. She'll kill you in there. But that warning wasn't for Dakota. It was for Valentina Shevchenko. One of the most decorated champions in women's MMA history. Suddenly being warned by a fellow elite fighter that the new era might be too dangerous, even for her. It's a perfect storm. Part compliment, part warning, part pure controversy.
I think she's a pretty, a really good, striker, kickboxer.
Jana Bishop isn't just another contender. She's a world-class grappler who made the jump to MMA and proved she belonged. But when she stepped in against Dakota Ditche, she collided with a different kind of beast. Dakota's precision, speed, and laser-sharp striking shocked her. Bishop later admitted that the loss changed her. Instead of making excuses, she did something most fighters wouldn't dare. She gave Dakota full credit. She called Dakota a monster, a terrifying striker. The best kicker in all of MMA. That's rare honesty in this sport. But then Bishop turned that respect into a warning and pointed it straight at Valentina. Because Valentina is the benchmark. She's the fighter every contender is measured against at flyweight, the queen who defended her throne again and again. She's the gold standard. But Bishop's message flips the script. She's basically saying, Valentina, if you face Dakota, this isn't just another title defense. This is different. This is dangerous. That's a bold take. Most fighters try to build themselves up by claiming they can beat Valentina. Instead, Bishop is warning that Dakota is the one Valentina won't survive. Think about how wild that is, a veteran grappler fresh off a loss saying the most dominant champion in the division wouldn't make it out of a fight with Dakota's violence.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, that was a perfectly placed head kick. Body. Same high with the head kick. I mean, oh my goodness. It was
Undefeated. Finishing opponents in minutes. Her striking isn't just precise, it's violent. So when Jana Bishop spoke, it didn't sound like exaggeration. It sounded like fear made verbal. That's why fans took her words seriously. Because beneath the respect was a warning, a message other fighters are too afraid to say out loud. Dakota is the #1 threat in women's MMA. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. So what happens if she collides with Valentina Shevchenko? On one side, Valentina, the legend. Experience. Championship composure. Surgical, calculating, striking. On the other, Dakota, youth. Explosiveness. Raw aggression. A storm-hunting first-round endings. One is a master of patience and defense. The other is chaos in motion. Others call it delusion, claiming she's just clinging to Dakota's hype. But here's the truth, whether you agree or not, you're talking about it. And that's the whole point. With one interview, Bishop shoved Dakota versus Valentina into every fan conversation. That's how you build a super dash fight. So here's the bottom line. Jana Bishop dropped a bombshell that could reshape the women's flyweight division. She took her defeat and turned it into a warning for Valentina Shevchenko. She's a monster. She's the best kicker. She'll destroy you. Promo or prophecy, doesn't matter. What's clear is this. Dakota Diva is now at the center of the division's future.
I think that'd be amazing. I think when Dakota's healthy, I would love a chance to be able to.
Start asserting some dominance on this round, in my opinion. Oh, Bishop's in bed. And Liz Primus counts out a world tournament victory.
Fresh off a brutal TKO victory, the 41-year-old veteran grabbed the MIC and did the unthinkable. She called out Dakota Ditche, the undefeated golden girl of the PFL, and she didn't stop there. Carmush demanded the PFL create an entirely new women's bantamweight division, 135 pounds, just so she can headline a super fight with Dakota. This is massive. The 41-year-old legend is calling out the undefeated star everyone believes is the future of women's MMA. What went down in the cage? Carmush went to war with Jana Bishop. The early rounds weren't smooth. Bishop nearly tapped her multiple times with deep submission attempts, but Liz did what legends do. She bit down, stayed calm, and detonated a vicious counter left hook in round 3. Bishop went down hard, and Carmush swarmed with ground and pound to seal the finish. That knockout earned her the 2025 PFL Women's Flyweight Tournament title, and a clean $500,000 prize check. Even crazier, she's now on a 3-fight win streak and a staggering 12-1 run since leaving the UFC. Still collecting belts at age 41, but it wasn't the knockout that blew up the MMA world, it was the call-out. Liz said, point blank, she wants the PFL to open a 135 pounds bantamweight division, and her first target, Dakota. Diva. Let that sink in. Carmouche is a former UFC title challenger, the final Bellator flyweight champion, and now a PFL tournament winner. She's fought the best of her era, and instead of riding off into the sunset, she's going after the next apex predator. Dakota is 12-0, undefeated, and hyped as the PFL's answer to Valentina Shevchenko, a violent, precision striker turning heads with highlight reel finishes. Some fans even whisper Amanda Nunes comparisons.
Fellas, really gotten behind your teammate Dakota Ditche. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Oh, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her.
Jana Bishop just lit a fire under women's MMA, and her target wasn't Dakota Ditche. It was Valentina Shevchenko. Fresh off her loss to Dakota, Jana didn't do what most fighters do. She didn't make excuses. She didn't blame judges. She didn't trash her opponent. Instead, she flipped the entire narrative. Jana praised Dakota, called her a monster, called her a scary striker, said she's the best kicker in the game, and then she dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves across MMA media. She'll kill you in there. But that warning wasn't for Dakota, it was for Valentina Shevchenko. One of the most decorated champions in women's MMA history. Suddenly being warned by a fellow elite fighter that the new era might be too dangerous, even for her. It's the perfect storm. Part compliment, part warning, part pure controversy, and tonight, we're breaking it all down.